Hey, thanks for checking out my video. I'm Olivia and today I'm doing a little Sephora haul. So as I'm filming this video, it's the second last day of the sale. I am quite confident this video will not go up while the sale's still running, realistically with my turnaround time. But I'm sure if you were gonna participate in the sale anyway, you probably already have. I don't think anyone's waiting for my video. But I still thought it'd be fun to go over what I picked up from the sale. As you can probably tell, I have some of my makeup done, so I'm also gonna do a little bit of a try on at the end of the video. So I've got my little box here. I'm really excited. For the most part, really, I just stocked up on like skincare that I use pretty much every day. But there were a couple of makeup items I've been eyeing for quite a while. A little bit of fragrance here as well, so I'm excited to get into it. I want to start off with a little round of applause for Sephora. I actually got the samples that I picked this time. I don't know if it's just like Canadian Sephora or like maybe the Sephoras around me that are the ones like sending my products, but I feel like the last few Sephora orders I made, I always pick like little fragrance samples or mini mascaras or something like that, and rarely do I ever actually get the samples that I choose. It's usually not even in the same category. So anyway, A+ Sephora for this time only. We'll see if it continues. All right, so I'll go over the skincare items first, and like this is pretty much my whole routine for the most part. But the first item I got was the Mario Badescu, I think that's how you pronounce it. I got the facial spray. I have incredibly dry skin, and I feel like it's been quite the journey to actually establish a routine that makes my skin feel really hydrated and nourished. I do kind of go back and forth between using a facial spray and an essence. I haven't bought an essence in a while because I feel like the most like highly rated ones or the couple that I've tried previously that I liked are super expensive, and I feel like I don't notice enough of a difference from the essence alone to like justify buying that. I like using a facial spray as like a first step. I feel like I heard somewhere in the skincare YouTube community, I heard that it helps the skincare products absorb a little bit better if your skin is just a little bit damp when you start your routine. I don't know if that's true. I'm in no way an expert. I don't have any background education on this, but I do know that when I do my skincare routine as a whole, my skin does feel better. So this is just a step that I like to incorporate. Also, relatively speaking, this is a pretty inexpensive product. I think this was like about $20 Canadian for this spray. And this lasts me at least a couple months, usually at least a few months, I would say. As I mentioned, my skin is super dry. It's also really sensitive, and I feel like this has been working just fine for me. So this is my third or fourth bottle now. The next product that I wanted to stock up on is the Ordinary Hyaluronic Acid Serum. I got the jumbo size. I like incorporating hyaluronic acid in my skincare routine. It's supposed to help a lot with hydration and skin plumping. Again, as I mentioned, I'm no expert. I don't know how effective or potent every product on its own would be, but I've been using this in my routine for some time. And again, I like how my skin feels after, so I got the big one. Also, I feel like if you're watching this video, I'm sure you're already familiar with The Ordinary, but for those of you who aren't or who are dabbling in skincare, The Ordinary is also a very affordable brand, so I like shopping from there. As a side note, if you know of an essence that you've tried and you really liked and you also have very dry skin, if it's not super expensive, please let me know in the comments below. We don't need to gatekeep on this channel. I need help. This is the last skincare item that I picked up. I don't know how to pronounce this brand's name either. I think it's Evereden, I'm not sure, but this is the Nourishing Baby Face Cream. One of my coworkers actually recommended this brand to me. This seems to work really nicely on my dry, sensitive skin. This has a pretty thick, like rich texture, which is something I look for and something I need in a moisturizer. Gel or lightweight moisturizers really don't mesh well with my skin. I need something that's really gonna be thick and sinks in. I feel like this is one of the only ones I've tried that I liked. The Origins also has a really nice one as well. I think it's like their white tea moisturizer, and I've used up several bottles of that one too. I think that was just like twice the price of this one, so I've just been repurchasing this lately because it's cheaper. I will say in the winter, it's not always quite thick enough. Sometimes I'll mix like a facial oil with this just to make it a little bit more rich, and that's helped me quite a bit too. But for the most part, I've been pretty happy with this. I think this is like my fourth or fifth bottle now. My only real gripe with this is that I use it every day and it usually doesn't last me more than like 3 months. So I do wish they offered a bigger size, but again, at least relatively speaking, it's a little more affordable than some other ones that I really like too. All right, so there's been a couple of makeup things that I've been eyeing that I decided to pick up. The first one being this little mini trio from Rare Beauty. I've heard nothing but good things about their liquid blushes and highlights, and I'm incredibly late to the game, but I finally decided to pick this up and give them a try. So this set comes with 2 mini dewy blushes and 1 mini liquid highlight. I'm pretty sure this set existed during the fall sale as well. I just wasn't really interested in picking it up because I knew how little these minis would be, and I feel like it just wasn't quite the right price to justify having these tiny little blushes in the collection. But of course, as Sephora tends to do, they dropped the price of a little package before the sale, so it was like a double discount. So I figured I was a little bit more justified in finally trying these out. Clearly, until just now, I forgot that I picked these up because I already put on blush and highlight today. So these will not be included in the try-on, but they've also been out for years, so I feel like most people already have opinions on them anyway. But I will swatch them out because I'm a little curious. All right, so I definitely picked the worst place to swatch them. But here's the trio. So I did a thicker swatch and then tried to blend it out a little bit. At the top there is the luminizer. It's definitely a little bit too dark for a highlight, but I definitely would mix this in with one of the blushes or some other blushes just to make it a little extra glowy. So I'll probably mostly use it for that. This middle one here is the shade Virtue, and I'm definitely into this peachy beige. I feel like this one's definitely going to be my favorite of the 3. And then this last one is the shade Beloved, and it's a little deep, but I feel like it looks like it blends out pretty well, and I feel like this is going to be a really pretty shade in the fall and winter especially. The next thing I picked up that I'm really excited about is the Signature Lip Lightweight Matte Lipstick from Merit. I've heard really good things about the Merit lipsticks, and I felt like they offered really kind of unique colors and undertones, so I wanted to pick one up. The packaging on these is stunning. It's really sturdy, it's kind of hefty feeling. It just feels very luxe. And the shade I picked up, I don't know how to pronounce this either. Antibes? I'm not sure, but I'll swatch it out for you. It just looked like a really nice, almost peachy brownie shade. It feels very creamy. I'm really excited about this. I feel like it's gonna be a nice shade for every day throughout the spring and summer, even really the fall. It just seems like a really nice, wearable, but still unique looking shade. And the formula, at least from the swatch so far, seems really creamy, so I'm really excited about this one. So I need a new palette, I need a hole in my head, but I haven't seen one negative review on these since they came out, and honestly, I've been dying to try them. They were just so pretty. I know they were available during the last sale, but I just couldn't justify it at that point. Again, I also want to see a lot of reviews before I could pretend to justify them at all. But as I mentioned, I don't think I've seen anyone dislike these. So I did pick up the Sugar palette from ABH and the Spice palette from ABH. So I'll probably use this one for the try on today. I feel like I went with a little bit of a warmer theme for the cheeks, so that one's gonna be a little more fitting. I will say I don't know if we needed 3 shades that are the matte with sequins in them. I feel like those don't ever look as interesting on the eyes as they do in the pans, but I mean, nonetheless, it looks like a really pretty palette. The actual shimmer metallic shades look really stunning. And I feel like the color stories are ones that I'll gravitate to for every day. They're gonna be really easy to wear regardless of the occasion. But yeah, I had a weak moment. The last thing I picked up is also a result of a weak moment. It's not my proudest moment, but I did blind buy a fragrance. One of my friends from Instagram highly recommended this, and honestly, I've been dying to try the Hiiii brand. This might have found its way into my cart. And here it is. I haven't exactly sampled this before, but it's called Yum Bougie Marshmallow. Obviously I just got the travel spray because ain't no way am I buying a full size. But even the bottle on the travel spray feels really luxe. This is a nice travel bottle. And I haven't tried it yet, so why don't we just give it a whirl together? I haven't even sprayed it and this smells amazing. Oh my god. All right, here we go. Oh. All right. That smells wonderful. I'm definitely not experienced in the world of fragrance. Really, I just kind of get samples whenever I make a purchase somewhere, and that's kind of how I've been dabbling in it. So please don't ask me to describe this. I feel like I don't know what I'm doing. I will say it has a warm scent. It is a little sweet, and that's all. It's the only way I can describe it because I'm not sure how else to do it. I'll go over the keynotes that it has listed on the back. I don't even know how to pronounce some of these words. Freesia? That's the top keynote, it looks like. There's also strawberry, pink marshmallow, coconut, whipped vanilla, which I feel like I could smell that, and pink musk. So those are the notes, and I'm really happy with this so far. All right, so that's pretty much everything that I picked up this time around. So now let's get into the look using the Spice palette and my new lipstick. All right, so my eyes are primed. I'm not really doing anything exciting today. To be honest, after this video, I'm probably just gonna go write some reports and then get groceries. So I'm probably just gonna do something a little more low-key on the eyes. I'm probably gonna skip a lash today just because I'm kind of feeling lazy, but I still wanna create something cute. So I'm gonna go in with this kind of beige shade here and just put that all in the crease. Holy Jesus. So these are rather powdery. Yeah, I'm just gonna go into the crease with that shade. If you've tried these palettes and you have any critiques, I'd love to hear them. I'd love to know what you think. But like I said, I really haven't heard anything negative. I've also always liked ABH's formula. It always has worked for me. Yeah, I'm excited to try these out. As I mentioned earlier, there's like 3 shades that have like the matte with like sequins in them. I'm not really a fan of those usually because I feel like it looks nice in the pan, but that's about it. I feel like for the most part, if I blend it on the lids, the sequins kind of just blend away. And even if you pack it on, like maybe you'll still get the effect, but it's just not quite as pretty as like a regular shimmer. So I don't know, I feel like the sequins are a little bit of a waste, but as long as it still works well as a matte, then I guess that's fine with me. These are very powdery though. I forgot to mention I am going in with the shade in the crease as well, just to deepen it up a little bit more. So I'm just going in with a little bit of this shade now. I'm just going to tap my brush off just to get rid of the sequins because I don't really need them in this look. I'm just putting it in the outer corner. And I want most of the color closest to the lash line because that's where I want the most depth. But I am going to blow it out a little bit and give it just a little bit of a wing shape. Just because I like to do that. I'm just going to take that same shade on a small pencil brush and I'm going to put that on the lower lash line. So now I'm going to mix the first 2 shades that I used and just blend out the lower lash line a little bit more. Alright, so I feel like it's looking pretty cute so far. For the shimmers, I'm a little torn. I feel like this one's definitely the prettiest. I want to do this one in the outer part of the lid just to blend into something lighter. Honestly, I feel like this one might go a little bit better with my cardigan. This one just looks a little fancy. Let me just swatch them out. These are nice. Wow. Ooh, okay. Here are the 3 shimmers. This one's kind of a shimmer too. It's a little more like satiny and less textured than these. So I'm really just focusing on the pretty ones right now. But these are those. This one's definitely the most interesting in my opinion. But I think I am going to go with the other 2 just because my outfit, I want it to match. So I'll just put on whatever I've got on my finger now. Honestly, that's beautiful. I feel like I could just do that one all over the lid. I like that one a lot. That one is the shade here. I don't think these have shade names. Or I guess, yeah, they did like the battleship theme. I think this is just B1. So I'm gonna go in with that one here. I like that these don't have like a super metallic formula. They almost have a bit more of a sheer base. So I feel like it doesn't look like super dark on the eyes, which is why like you really could use this shade all over the lid and it wouldn't be too smoky in my opinion. But I do want to play with more than one shimmer, so I'll go in with that pinky one as well. And I'm just going to put that in the front. Yeah, I'm really liking this newer shimmer formula from ABH. I feel like this is really pretty. I just feel like the texture that it has and like, A couple of them almost have like a duochrome effect. It just makes them look really interesting. I'm gonna go in with a little bit more of this brown shade, just to put that on the outside as well. And then I'm just gonna go back in with the brush that I used for the outer corner. I'm not gonna add any extra product, but I do wanna just kind of re-intensify the depth that we had, since I feel like we kind of lost it with the shimmer. I'm just gonna make sure everything is nice and blended. And it's not super bright, but I'm gonna use the shade here on my little pinky for an inner corner highlight. Well, actually it's pretty bright. Again, I guess because there's more of like a sheer base. So it's actually pretty nice and reflective. I like that. I will say lately I'm a little bit more drawn to like bright satiny shades for the inner corner, or matte as well, but I feel like a nice like white or cream satin is like my sweet spot for the inner corner. But I feel like this did the trick. It looks really pretty. All right, so this is pretty much the eye look. I know it's really basic, but that's just kind of what I wanted today. I really just wanted to play around with the palette. I didn't want to do anything too dramatic. So I'm gonna find something for my waterline. I'm gonna put on some mascara, and then we'll try on the lipstick together. Alrighty, so the eye look is finished. In the waterline, I just used this random like bronzy gold eyeliner that I had, and then piled on the mascara. So let's try out the lipstick now. Honestly, I feel like I was mostly excited for this lipstick and the fragrance and everything. I had a good time. I was wearing a lip balm earlier and I wiped off some of it, but I feel like there's still remnants. So I'm gonna try this throughout the week. Again, I'm really excited about it and I'll let you know how I feel about it. Let's just give it a go. Maybe I should use a lip liner. I'll try it without a lip liner first, just so I could see the true color, and then if it feels incomplete, I'll add a lip liner. I really like the shade. So this is supposed to be a matte lipstick. It feels really nice and a little creamy, honestly, when I applied it. That might have been because I had just a little bit of lip balm still, but we'll see how it kind of settles and what it looks like. As for the shade though, I'm really happy with this. I feel like this almost like gingery brown kind of matches my hair a little bit. So I don't know, I feel like this is a good shade for me. I think I'm gonna get a lot of use out of this and I'm really excited about this one. I'll give you a little close up of the eye look. I did get a little bit of fallout here, and I'm not sure if that is like the sequin particles from like the sequiny matte shades, or if it's from like the slightly chunkier shimmers. I didn't use a glitter glue or anything. I don't even know if you can really see it, to be honest. It's really just down here. I'm not really that bothered by it. I feel like a lot of brands' shimmers have a little bit of fallout, especially if I'm not using a glitter glue. Again, it doesn't really bother me all that much, but I thought I'd mention it. But yeah, I'm really happy with how the look turned out. So yeah, this is gonna be the finished look. I know it's really basic, but again, that's kind of just what I was feeling today. I really just wanted to play around with everything and see how everything looks together. Honestly, I'm really happy with everything so far. I don't think there were any duds. That being said, I also didn't really go too ham with the new makeup. I only got a few things and then again, just restocked on some skincare. But overall, I would say it was a pretty successful haul. As usual, I'd love to know what you think. I'd love to hear from you in the comments below. Let me know what you got from the sale, if anything, or if you tried any of these products that I picked up. I don't think any of these were really like new releases, so if you already have opinions on these, I would love to hear them. Yeah, I think that's pretty much gonna wrap it up for the video today. Thank you so much for spending your time with me. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!